Hey there, I'm Tanya from Twisted Heart Puppet Works, and now that I have your attention, I just want to make a little video about some of my Krampus puppets and makings that I do during the Krampus season and have kind of collected throughout the years. This also is a little experiment to get me comfortable talking on camera because although I'm super comfortable on a live stage with a live audience, talking on camera is a little strange to me, and I'm going to be doing it more within the next year. So this is good practice for me, and it gets to show you what I've done throughout the years on my Krampus obsession. So first one I want you to look at is this guy. Some of you guys have seen him. He is one of the first puppets that I've ever made. He's a hand puppet, and he is made from all paper mache on a mask that I got at a craft store as the base. And then I went ahead and put sticks for his horns because I thought that would be a really, really great way to kind of pay homage to the birch sticks that he carries. I used some styrofoam balls and little belly dance palettes for his eyes with some black beads, and then he's covered in fur scraps that I got from one of my friends, Robin Satori, who used to work at a fur and leather shop. Thank God she kept all those scraps. This guy is a hand puppet. Sorry, no he's not. He is a full body stick and rod puppet, and I can pick him up here for you. And you can see his entire body. So he's controlled by a rod on the head, and I absolutely adore him. Although I haven't really used him a lot, this guy's been used a ton, but this guy has not been used a lot, and I need to utilize him more. He has full articulation in his legs and his arms, but I'm filming this by myself, so I don't have a lot of control of his legs and arms right now. Moving on. There's this guy who I absolutely adore, and he's super creepy. I love his big old long horns. These are actually real goat horns. This was a resin mask that was actually cast for me, and then I was able to kind of make the gums and the teeth and did all the painting, and I did this in Al Ridenour's workshop in LA a couple of years ago, and I absolutely just adore him. He's a wonderful mask, and you can put your head inside of him and wander around like a crazy Krampus, which would totally scare your neighbors, and I'm all on board for. This next one I want to show you is my take on kind of a different aspect of the Krampus. This is what I call a Bell's nickel. And Bell's nickel is just kind of a different term for what a Krampus being is, kind of a winter devil. He's also made of paper mache. His teeth are foam, and they're a little loose right now. He needs to go see the puppet dentist. And then I used all this kind of like raffia and leftover faux fur that I had from a different project. And of course, my love of skulls. He's got a muskrat skull up here, and I went ahead and painted it. And no Krampus is complete without some bells. So that's my Bell's nickel. Next, what I'm working on is these little guys, and these guys are not finished yet. So here's one, and he is by far, I think, one of the creepiest things that I've ever made. I really love him. Again, paper mache, the teeth are painted on. I've gone ahead and used like little wooden beads for the eyes, which when they're painted black and then just the irises are painted, gives them a really, really creepy look. And I've done the same thing with this guy here. A couple of people have asked me how I do my horns, And the horns are really just, you know, oh my gosh, I'm totally blinking. And this is why I'm, you know, doing this on tape. So aluminum foil, there we go, had a senior moment. So aluminum foil that I've just gone ahead and just, you know, wrapped up in kind of a horn configuration and then taped it with electrical tape. And that's what I did on this one as well. And then just painted them. And it actually turned out looking pretty good. So it's just a really simple, like non-technical way of kind of getting yourself some horns. Again, it's hard for me to go away from kind of like what I originally did, which was using the sticks as horns, which I think is super, super cool. And I may actually go back to doing a couple more of those after I do this. These guys right now need to get some fur on them. And so today I'm going to be in the process of doing a lot of hot gluing of some fur. But I'm going to use some other types of glue as well that don't respond to temperature, because I've found here in Southern California, where we're starting to get higher and higher temperature changes, some of my stuff is kind of falling apart in the garage. So if you're used to using a lot of hot glue on your projects, I would suggest that you start using maybe a little bit of hot glue for that instant stick, but then maybe something else like a weld bond or any kind of like, you know, super tacky white glue that has a little bit more staying power. I would be remiss in my duties as a Krampus lover to not give a shout out to, again, Ridenour. He did Krampus in the Old Dark Christmas. This book came out a couple of years ago. It's absolutely fantastic. He also does Bone and Sickle podcast. And I encourage you, if you're into any kind of fantasy, gothic horror, anything like that, to go ahead and look up that podcast. And also check out this book. It's where I get a lot of inspiration. This book and Ridenour actually inspired me and my husband to go to Germany last year at Christmas time and take in the Krampus runs and the Christmas markets. And it's absolutely a beautiful part of our heritage. And I get a lot of inspiration from this book. So thank you, Al. And thank you, everybody else, for suffering through this with me. I hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned. I'll definitely show you the finished product of the Krampuses that I'm working on now. Thanks. Bye.